So up next, I want to introduce Erlinda de la Cruz, who is a master's student in mental health counseling. She received a bachelor's degree in sociology with a minor in film studies from BC in 2013. Erlinda worked as a program coordinator for a nonprofit college access program that helps Latino youth in Phoenix, Arizona get into and pay for college. She currently serves as a counseling intern at a local charter high school, a graduate assistant for the Thea Bowman Ahana and Intercultural Center, and a graduate staff assistant for the Office of Residential Life. Please help me welcome Erlinda to the stage.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi everyone. So I'm here to talk to you about makeup. So when I choose a foundation, sometimes I have a little difficulty. I'm either too light for medium, or too light for dark, and too dark for medium, or sometimes I'm actually the darkest shade available. So the summer before grad school, I did an abroad fellowship in the Philippines, and I thought, hey, I can totally find foundation out there, because Filipinos are all different shades of brown. But then I remember Filipino celebrities look like this. And I really love watching women put on makeup on public transportation. That is a skill I will never learn how to do. So while I was there in the Philippines on the train, I was watching this woman put on makeup, and I noticed she was putting on foundation that was like 3 shades too light for her skin tone. And when I actually went looking, I either found the only shade that was too light for my skin tone displayed, or anything that I could find that didn't have whitening cream was really hard to find. And then I found ads like this, where the younger, healthier, glowing you, or when fair skin is not enough. But this isn't only directed towards women. These are ads directed towards men, where 10% lighter means 100% more approved, more numbers, or more social. Social means like higher class, and those things of the sort. But again, this isn't only the Philippines. These are ads from around the world that have to do with lightening of your skin tone. So why? I figured out that this all has to do with colorism. Colorism is the discrimination based on one's own skin tone within one's own ethnic or racial community. So I am dark for a Filipino. I am not dark on like the grand scale of things, but I am dark for a Filipino. One shade affects your racial identity, how you're identified with your racial group, but it can also mean goodness, badness, wealth, beauty, power. Depending on however your culture dictates what that means, your shade has so many meanings behind it. So let's put this into some historical context. The Philippines was colonized by Spain for a little over 300 years. In 1898, General Emilio Aguinaldo called for Filipino independence, which is during, according to American textbooks, the Spanish-American War. During that time, Spain sold the Philippines to the US for $20 million. So during American colonization, Filipinos were portrayed like this, as black savages who became civilized due to expansion. Where Uncle Sam was schooling them for to be civil. Other countries like Cuba, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, where President McKinley was washing the savagery off with imperialism. And where President Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines, is portrayed as the new Topsy. So in 1904 was the St. Louis World Fair. The main attraction of St. Louis World Fair was the live exhibits. They put people on display, including indigenous Filipino tribes. This is where the stereotype that Filipinos eat dogs come from. Yes, it is true, Filipinos do eat dogs, at least with those tribes, but it is a delicacy. They were forced to eat dogs every day to add to that savagery, to add to the idea that Americans are civil, that Americans are above this, and these are savages that eat dog and they're just fun to watch. These were postcards that you could buy at the gift store. So 1941 and 1945 was Japanese occupation during World War II. The Philippines gains full independence during 1946 when Japan lost World War II and left all their occupied lands. So, after almost 400 years of colonization, people then gain a colonial mentality, where you internalize all the messages that you've gained, all the negative messages you've gained about your skin tone, about who you are, about your looks, about everything, and you begin to internalize all the oppressive messages that you've received for 400 years. But then let's bring this back to makeup and how this relates to perceptions of beauty. Mestizos or mestizas, or mixed blood, are what is considered most beautiful in Filipino culture. It's mixed blood, but it tends to be those with European descent. All the not all, but most of the celebrities I showed you in the beginning are all mestizo celebrities. Mestizos are the highest paid celebrities in the Philippines. So then it becomes a thing where bleaching creams become common, using lighter foundation becomes common, and pinching your nose bridge so that it becomes a more European nose. Filipinos are known for flat noses. So why? All of this relates to whiteness. Whiteness as property is a concept that reflects the conflation of whiteness with the exclusive rights to freedom, to the enjoyment of certain privileges, and to the ability to draw advantage from these rights. Whiteness is a thing that protects people from colonization, from oppression, from violence, from everything that these messages that have conveyed to people for 400 years. This is what whiteness is to them. This is why colorism exists. This is by being as light as you possibly can, you gain these protections. So then that relates to white privilege. As Peggy McIntosh states, whiteness protected me from many kinds of hostility, distress, and violence, which I steadily trained to visit and turn upon people of color. This is the protection that people want. So then let's make this a little interactive. Here are some shades. Please take some time to see if you can figure out your own shade. That blue star over there is my shade if you need a little reference. So how many people think they could find a shade pretty easily? How many people are kind of having a little difficulty? It's okay, I know it's hard. These are the prices of these foundations. These are drugstore foundations. They're considered the more affordable price. But also if you look, this is my shade. There are 3 shades after me. There are so many other people after me of different shades, of different colors, that is not easily represented. These are also concealers that are pretty popular right now, and they're all in drugstore. These are my shades. And some of them are actually a little slightly too light for me. So let's play this game again. There are more shades. And here are my shades as a reference. So how many people then now can pretty easily find their foundation? And how many people are still kind of having a difficult time? So in case you didn't look around the room, it kind of was that the people of color have difficulty finding their shades. These are the prices of high-end foundations. If you want to get your foundation in your shade of color, you have to save up to buy these foundations. But if you want more at an affordable price, you'll have more difficulty. But also, if you look at how a lot of these shades are named, the lighter skin tones are named after expensive and luxurious items like ivory, porcelain, linen, while the shades that are darker are named after food. Like I'm caramel in a lot of things. This adds to the objectification that a lot of people of color face. They get faced that a lot of us are compared to food a lot. So then when you do have these things, it becomes very difficult. So why am I talking to you about makeup? Why is this all important? This all relates to white privilege. White privilege is more than what was in the backpack. It's more than just Band-Aids. White privilege is definitely normalized in more things than even in our makeup. It's very nuanced. So the next time you walk in to find foundation, to help your friend find foundation, take a look at how they're named. Take a look at what shades are available. If you even have a friend that's going to make their own foundation line, help them figure out what shades are, because this is what white privilege is. When you want whiteness, you want that protection. You want your skin to feel as luxurious as ivory, as luxurious as porcelain, and not compared to like mahogany. This is why I ask, and this is why I bring this to you, so that you are aware, you are more informed about what's going on. So what's your shade?